Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another video of MTGMatt, and as you can see, I got a new really cool logo. I really like it, and just received it today and just wanted to show you guys right away. And what are we doing today? So, since Oko got banned yesterday, yesterday I was still showing off the Sultai superhero deck. We can't play that anymore to climb the ladder, so I decided to switch gears a bit and instead go to another card I haven't even tried yet in this expansion, which is Korvold Fae-Cursed King. And Korvold says it's a flying legendary creature, Dragon Noble. Whenever Korvold Fae-Cursed King enters the battlefield or attacks, you sacrifice another permanent. And when you do so, you put a +1/+1 counter on Korvold and then draw a card. So the idea of this deck is to get a huge Korvold, pump it up, and draw a bunch of cards, and then basically overwhelm your opponent with card advantage. And also the planeswalkers that I had in the Sultai deck, which are Liliana, Dreadhorde General, Garruk, Huntsman, and Vraska, Golgari, as like the planeswalker core, I would say. Now there's no Nissa in this deck because I don't think it really fits in there. As the 5-drop, as you can see, we have the Korvold. But this is basically our win condition core. And then what do we have to make Korvold bold actually? Because we need permanents to sacrifice. So first of all, we got this core here, which is 4 Cauldron Familiars, 4 Gilded Goose, and 4 Witch's Oven. So there's this well-known infinite combo with Cauldron Familiar and Witch's Oven. If you have a Cauldron Familiar on the board, you can sacrifice the Witch's Oven to create a food token, and then you can create a food token. Then you can sacrifice the food token to put the Cauldron Familiar back onto the battlefield. And since Korvold says whenever you sacrifice a permanent, you put a +1/+1 counter on it and draw a card. You actually draw a card when you sacrifice a food token and when you sacrifice the Cauldron Familiar. So right there, this is already 2 +1/+1 counters and 2 cards drawn. And this can get really crazy with Korvold. Then we have the Gilded Goose, which is another way for us to create food tokens for the Cauldron Familiar in case we don't find a Witch's Oven. And it's just a form of nice ramp. Also, another thing concerning the planeswalkers, so here with Vraska, we can also sacrifice permanents, which again synergizes well with our Korvold. And just in general, Vraska is very good. Also, a -3 ability to destroy a target non-permanent with CMC 3 or less. And also, these sacrificing the Cauldron Familiar or other creatures in this deck also synergize with Liliana's passive, which lets us draw a card every time a creature dies. The Garruk is really in this deck because Garruk is just really good, but also we have ways of sacrificing the wolves, giving us more value, and then maybe we can put on the emblem as an additional win condition on the battlefield. So far we've talked about Korvold and the planeswalkers as the core of this deck, then the Cauldron Familiar and the Witch's Oven and Gilded Goose. And then what else is there in this deck? We have 4 Mayhem Devils, because if we sacrifice so many permanents, we might as well put in a Mayhem Devil in there. It's an excellent way to remove small stuff from our opponent, or sometimes even bigger stuff, because with this deck you can realistically sometimes sacrifice 3 to 4 permanents a turn, thus deal 3 to 4 damage to our opponent or to his creatures. And another planeswalker I actually forgot to mention is Chandra, Acolyte of Flame. Why? Because she lets us create elemental creature tokens, which is not the relevant part, but the more relevant part is that they get sacrificed at the beginning of the next end step. So if we summon those 2, let them attack, and then they get sacrificed, we can put 2 counters on Korvold, draw 2 cards, or draw 2 cards from Liliana, or ping our opponent for 2. So this is some additional synergy here. And what else is there? I've put in 3 Lazotep Reavers. It smooths out the mana curve of our deck and gives us 2 bodies to sacrifice. Paradise Druid just for more ramp, and since we're 3 colors, this fixes our mana issues we might encounter. And then there is I've put in 1 Rankle to smooth out the curve, also because I had it lying around. Gives us another way to sacrifice creatures from us and also from our opponent, and just be annoying in general for our opponent. And that's basically it. The mana base is nothing special to mention. We have all 3 types of shocklands. I also put in 4 Temples of Malady in there. Now, what would fit in here very well is actually Fabled Passage, because where's Fabled Passage? Because you can also it also gets sacrificed. You can fix your land base in there. Actually, let's put it in there. So we need basic lands, right? So I cut 2 swamps and I cut 2 forests, so we can actually find basic lands and then put in 4 Fabled Passages in there. So we have even more synergy there. So that's the deck. I've tried it out a bit and it has been quite successful. So just see for yourself. I hope you enjoy the games and hope to see you guys on the next video. Mr. Gouda. Alright, so this is another hand that we can keep. We don't have the mana base. Don't really have a nice mana curve. This is a hand that we can keep. I think we'll get rid of the Lazotep Reaver. Play... What do we play first here? Probably the Gilded Goose. So let's shock the goose and let's see. So next turn we play the Cauldron Familiar. We may be up against... So I was assuming we're up against Hasty Gruel, but so far we only see a green. Threshing Brown to Dawn. Don't block here. So now we get a Cauldron Familiar as a blocker. And just pass the turn. Next turn we play the Temple of Malady, and then on turn 4 we can play the Fabled Passage and get an untapped basic land in play. There's another Pelt Collector, however his first one doesn't trigger. He could have also played the Threshing Brontodon. There's a Barkite Troll, okay. Now, best case here would be a Mayhem Devil. Actually, let's just kill this Wayfinder. The less threats there are on board, the better. Now I have 2 options here. Could sack the food, but actually there's no reason to sack the food right now. So let's see what we get with the temple. Overgrown Tomb. Huh. I think we need some immediate answers to these threats here. So we'll pass the turn here. There is the Threshing Brontodon. And play the Familiar now. Cool thing is we can produce another food token with the Gilded Goose. So we block like this, and I don't think we want to give up on the goose yet. Our turn. This is bad. So we can't use the mana now anyway, yet, because these all cost 6. So we might as well just play the Stomping Ground tapped. And that's the turn, and then next turn we can play either the Garruk or the Liliana. Probably play the Garruk because it gives us more tokens. Right now. So even if you block, yeah, if you block with everything, we can still survive at least. So we block like this. And before damage, we make another food token. Now the bad news is that we can't play our planeswalkers anymore. I think, yeah, that's just game here. We might have got a bit some, but yeah, that's just game. So, fortunately not a very successful first game, but we just keep going here. Actually, I think we can keep this. We have quite a nice mana curve. Missing a second red land, but because of this, oh, come on. I wanna play the temple and maybe, yes, there it is, perfect. So now we can play everything except for Liliana. And actually we're not in a rush here, so let's just play the Stomping Ground tapped and play our Witch's Oven. And the next turn we could play the Chandra or play the Lazotep Reaver. Also, what I haven't thought about yet is that you can actually sacrifice the elementals produced by Chandra to Witch's Oven before the end step. So this way we do get some food tokens, and we're just going to do that.
I'm happy as a hellion to start some fires. Say hi to my
just
fiery
attack
friends.
here. And then use our Witch's Oven, get a free food token, because why not? And then pass the turn. That seems cool. Next turn we can put down Vraska, depending on what he plays. Off of Kaya. Alright, I mean there's no reason to get rid of that actually. Just sits there. So we might as well put the Vraska into play.
Wherever I go, I leave bodies in my wake. Hey, these little guys are great.
Get in there. And use one for the Witch's Oven. And the other one for Vraska.
Sacrifices must be made.
Draw a card. Yeah, man. These synergies are doing really well. Okay. So now we can play our big guy Korvold and draw like so many cards. So first of all we sack a food, draw a card. Bam. Then we create the elemental creatures.
Go get 'em, buddies.
Go in there for some damage. We sack one of the tokens. Get another trigger on Korvold. And then we sack
It's lost.
the other element. Yeah, let's just game. So that's the power of this deck. Gold tier 1 now. Do we keep this actually? Maybe we can get a forest. I think we keep this. We can get a forest with the Fabled Passage. Shocking the Blood Crypt to make to play a Paradise Druid on turn 2. I think that's fine actually. Yeah, so let's get it right away. There's our forest. Now we shock in our Blood Crypt, get the Paradise Druid down. And the coolest thing is next turn we can play the Mayhem Devil and sack a Fabled Passage for 1 damage. Also we have the Cauldron Familiar Witches off in combo in hand. So this looks already pretty great. Pretty good, pretty great. Let's put down the Mayhem Devil, put down the Fabled Passage, and actually do nothing because maybe we're lucky and he'll tap his Paradise Druid. Actually, what do we need? I think we need, yeah, we need more black sources of mana. Yeah, so that's what I was talking about. We're getting a swamp here and can at least kill his Paradise Druid. So we didn't find a land unfortunately, but we were Cauldron Familiar and 2 Witches often. So just pass the turn here, and if we get another land, we can put the Korvold down and just draw a ton of cards. Actually 4 with the trigger of the Cauldron Familiar. Pass the turn. And now we sack the Cauldron. Get some life gain, get some damage in there. And there we go, we paid it to life, get the Korvold down. I think we actually sacrifice a land. Do we? No. I also don't want to sack an oven. Because we're going to draw so many cards here, but I want to be able to play Liliana next turn, so guess we just sack the Cauldron Familiar then. This is really good actually. And yeah, we just pass the turn here. There's no need to do anything yet. Okay, so we actually sacked Paradise Druid for a futon. There's the second Korvold, so doesn't really matter that this one died. Sack the Cauldron Familiar again. And get another card. And we didn't get a land. Wow. Come on. Just one land. We need one land. And actually I don't want to block here. I need this as a sack outlet. Wow, failed passage. Really? Okay. Well, then let's get our 5th land here. Let's get another swamp. Send it untap. And now the thing is, I think what we actually do, we play Gilded Goose and then we play Rankle. Do we play Rankle or Vraska? We could also play Vraska to kill the Order of Midnight. No, we just play the Rankle. And that's GG. I don't know, opponent wouldn't... There was no need for opponent to immediately concede, but given our hand that we had, we were obviously in the more powerful position here. Yeah, we can't keep this. Yeah, we can keep this. We have ramp. I think we actually cut the Mayhem Devil or the Cauldron Familiar. Yeah, I think we cut the Familiar here. Put down the Gilded Goose for an early Mayhem Devil. Because the Korvold lets us draw more cards, so I think this is more important. Alright, since there's no need yet to put down the Mayhem Devil, we put down Paradise Druid first, because then next turn we can already put down the Korvold, which gives us a huge advantage. Alright, there's some Pride Mate. Pay to life for Garfield, put down the Korvold. And I think we sacked the Gilded Goose here. Oh, this is so good with Korvold. Now if our Korvold lives, we have a crazy turn upcoming actually. Does he live? Probably a Murderous Rider, right? He's got the mana for it. Yeah. Okay, so what do we do now? Actually, I want to play the Paradise Druid. I think ramp was more important at the moment. We're not under huge pressure here, so can just do it like this. If we get a land next turn, we can already play the Garruk this way. Start producing some wolfies. If he attacks with the Pride Man block. There is a Rankle, which is good for us actually. So yeah, we put down the Rankle because we're gonna make him sacrifice a creature if he decides to let this go through. And we can also draw a card here to hit our land drop. Alright, that's perfect. So, definitely want a card and we want to have a creature to sacrifice. Good, so there's our Blood Crypt. Alright, we got our land drop, which was important. With another land, that would be the best outcome. Is he getting the Ajani back? Probably. We didn't get it back.
What a mess I made.
Yeah, it doesn't attack. So, since we got our land, we're just going to kill the aerialist here. And draw a card.
I hunt bigger game.
And what does it do?
Let's see how sharp my axe
Each player
is.
sacrifices a creature. Although when it's combat damage to player. Can we just go ahead and try to kill the Dorian here?
Pathetic.
He can ping our Garruk for 1, he can still bring back the aerialist. Right, there's an Impassioned Orator. So, it was a good decision to attack because now his sword is gone. There's the Murderous Rider. Alright, so we got 6 available mana, right? So, what can we do here? What we can do, we can play Mayhem Devil and play Chandra. And with the Chandra we're going to have 2 guaranteed triggers of the Mayhem Devil. Okay, so here's the play. We attack with the Rankle. Oh, I actually should have made tokens first, that was a mistake. That's not a big deal, that's fine. And now we play the Mayhem Devil. And play Chandra.
Anyone need a match?
We
No.
get 2
Too bad.
tokens.
We are the apex
Get another 2
predator.
tokens.
Hey, these
And
little
now we
guys are
can ping
great.
the aerialist and kill it. And now we are in a good position with 2 planeswalkers on board. We have the wolf tokens to block. We have a Mayhem Devil. We have a Witch's Oven Covering. We have another Mayhem Devil in hand. The only thing we're missing here is card draw. But we are already in a pretty good position.
I have come for vengeance and blood.
He's trying to kill a Garruk, however we can
Drink.
sack a wolf. So put down another Mayhem Devil. Put down the Witch's Oven. Get more wolves.
You're not scared of dogs, are you?
And yeah, we just put down the Overgrown Tomb tapped. We get our elementals.
Oh, they're so cute.
And actually, let's go over combat. And now we sack a wolf, so our Garruk gets an additional loyalty counter. We also get 2 triggers. Yeah, that's game. If you got 2 Mayhem Devils on the board and just start sacrificing permanents, like the triggers you get deal so much damage. Alright. I think this is a keep. I mainly queued because of the 2 Witches Oven and the Korvold. If we find a Cauldron Familiar, then we can really go off. And we got a Temple of Malady to be able to scry, so I think we can do that. Okay, let's scry here. Oh no, we want another land. Next turn we can play the Goose and the Witch's Oven. Alright, so there's the Chandra. Play the Mountain, so next turn we can play the Chandra guaranteed together with the Goose. There's a Lazotep Reaver. I'd rather have the Chandra down, because together with the Witch's Oven we can start generating foods.
Pyromancer extraordinaire. Mostly. Oh, they're so cute.
See, now we get 2 foods, which is amazing. Just for free, basically. Without really sacrificing any permanents. They would be gone anyway. Alright. If we find a land, we can play the Korvold next turn. Oh yeah, it's there. Yeah. That's absolutely fine. I'm actually happy about that, because it's one less threat for our Korvold here. It's like a food. And let's go. So in case he snipes our Korvold or anything, we can still draw a card. Yeah, we just draw a card. I think if we sack the Korvold, we still get the trigger, right? Yeah, we do. And we get 2 foods actually, so it's really good. Oh, and because it didn't resolve, it actually goes to the graveyard. Haha. Alright, so let's play the Stomping Ground and Paradise Druid. There's no real need to play the Lazotep Reaver. Like in case there comes a board wipe. So we just leave the mana open and just produce a food token at the end of its turn. Right, Murder's Rider is coming down. Create a food token here. Oh, actually we can. We don't have the right mana, but it's fine. There's another Blood Crypt. Just pass the turn here. What we are looking for is a Korvold, a Liliana. Anything that lets us draw cards, basically. Oh, there's a Village. That's annoying, actually. There's a Chandra.
Stay back.
Should minus 3.
Explosively good pyromancer.
That's fine. We'll so we sack both Paradise Druids, and with the Gilded Goose, we'll produce a food token.
Everyone knows the bigger explosions.
I don't even think that's like really bad for us or anything. So that's good. Let's just draw a card. And let's just play the Lazotep Reaver here.
Oh, quiet.
And let's sack food token.
Everyone is expendable, except me.
Second Vraska, that's actually also really good. So we have some security here. What would be really good is a Rankle also. Rankle Master of Pranks. Alright, he chooses to go for the emblem. I'm totally fine with that. Drawn from Dreams. Yeah, Rankle would be perfect here because then we could kill his Chandra. Oh, that's actually that is bad.
This
That's
isn't
really
your
bad.
average zombie horde. Impressive. Putrid, but effective.
Right, our turn. Take 1 damage, not a big deal. Fabled Passage, not really helping us here. Could destroy a zombie. Let's draw a card here. I think that's our best bet. Like, we need to get something huge here.
Being ruthless.
Well, that's not what we were looking for. Let's play Lazotep Reaver here. And I think we'll attack here. But then actually not, because then he draws a card. So don't attack, we just play the Fabled Passage. And we just need to find something here. Especially against Liliana, because her -9
Good health
could
is
just
easy
cost
to
us the
find
game.
in war.
Oh, looks like someone's getting a little sweaty.
That's annoying. So no Vraska for us. And he decided to plus a Chandra again, and alright, we just... Now what happens actually if we sack this? That was actually good for us, because those cards weren't gonna help us. He didn't attack. I'm fine with that. Never Fabled Passage, not really helping us here. Like a Rankle is what we are trying to look for right now.
Sacrifices must be made.
Or even like a Mayhem Devil. Ah, that's not helpful. There is the Rankle, okay. So that's good. Now we pass the turn, and now he actually has to... somehow deal with the Vraska here. Because if he doesn't, I can just -9. Arguably, he has 2 creatures on board, so he can just attack and get 2 damage
No
in there.
pressure.
Yeah.
Rise and shine.
Oh, that's annoying. I actually found a Murderous Rider.
Back to the shadows. For now.
So the good thing is we have a Rankle incoming, which will let us draw a card, and we will make him discard a card, definitely. And actually, we don't block here. Or should we actually? We block with 1 and sack it. So this way, we still have this Lazotep Reaver to sack to the Rankle next turn. Alright, so got the Rankle here. And actually I just realized we can't attack our opponent in the face, because we need to deal with his Liliana.
That's no way to treat a lady.
Now the good thing is we have a couple of foods to stay alive. Probably gonna kill the Rankle, I assume. Yeah. So in this case we just sack the Rankle.
Right. I have practiced against many foes like you. Put thoughtfulness before action.
Yeah, I think this is just game. Now we'll queue in another game, I'll just have to use the bathroom really quick. This is a keep, so can Temple of Malady here on the first turn. Let's see what we get. We have another Mayhem Devil. So this indicates we might be up against red aggro. And in that case I want to have more Mayhem Devils, yeah. Because you can really ping down all his threats this way. Play the Gilded Goose. And play the Fabled Passage. We sacrifice it now when we get another red. Do we need another red? Let's get another red here. Don't block here. Oh, this combination is really good. This is really good. Alright, so what we do here is play a Blood Crypt. We could also destroy his Chandra Spitfire with the Vraska. I like this more actually because this can really explode and deal a ton of damage, so just kill it now.
It seems fortune favors
Just kill it, and then it's easier to deal with the rest. Then we can put down the Mayhem Devil.
It's not often I'm outmaneuvered.
Alright, so we can play the Mayhem Devil, play Fabled Passage, sacrifice it, get one trigger of Mayhem Devil. Then we get a land. We can play a Witch's Oven. Or we can play a Cauldron Familiar actually. So first things first, let's play the Mayhem Devil here. So we can't get 3 triggers, right? We can only get 2. So then we play the Fabled Passage, we sack it to get a Swamp. Get rid of the Scampering Scorcher. Get a Swamp. And I think we play the Witches Oven, because this gives us the option for another trigger, which we wouldn't have if we play the Cauldron Familiar now. And also, okay, so there's the Cavalcade. That's fine. Also next turn we can go super crazy with the Chandra, for example. Gains haste at the end of turn. He doesn't have a way to actually sack it, right? Okay, so we just let this resolve then. Actually made a mistake here, because I could have sacked the Gilded Goose first. To kill one of his elementals. Block like this. Yeah, that was a mistake. No! He actually gets the trigger. That's so bad. Alright, this might have cost us the game. Yeah, it did. Because this gave him the extra damage that he needed. Ah, so annoying. So annoying. Castle Garruk. Alright, let's make another game. We can't keep this hand. We can keep this hand. And we'll get rid of the Witch's Oven. So let's play the Temple. Set up our Gilded Goose. Or return to Chandra. Actually no, we can't do that. So we want another land here. Alright, let's play the Gilded Goose and play the Blood Crypt. Tapped. And I think we then play the Mayhem Devil to set up the Chandra. Set up the triggers from the Chandra elementals. Yeah, actually play the Mayhem Devil here. Should we play another Gilded Goose? Is there a point in doing that? Actually no, because we would have to sack the food, but we can kill the Gilded Goose, so let's leave it that way. So if our Mayhem Devil lives, the next turn, our next turn is going to be pretty explosive. Alright, it's actually good because we can kill a Gilded Goose now. We're going to do. Also sack this food. We didn't use the mana, but I'm fine with that. No blocks. So what can we do here? Can actually kill his questing beast. What we do is play the Chandra. We then play Fabled Passage. We get a forest. Target is Questing Beast. Get a forest. Play the Gilded Goose. We get the elementals.
Go get 'em, buddies.
We don't attack. And return. Sacrifice the food for a mana. Target the Questing Beast. And we get 2 more triggers and can actually kill the Questing Beast. Oh, this is so good. Yes. What we need now is actually card draw, like a Korvold would be amazing. Can easily snipe this with the Mayhem Devil. There's the Gilded Goose. Can we play the Goose here? Just to get a food?
Oh, they're so cute.
And we'll attack like this. This is going to die anyway, so if he's smart, he blocks the Mayhem Devil. Yeah. He knows. At the turn. Deal 2 more damage here. There is another Risen Reef. I think we actually kill that. We got a swamp here. Sure, he gets 1 trigger, but that's about it. Got a land, and let's create a food token. There is a Cauldron Familiar, okay.
Hey, these little guys are great.
So we get in for 5 every turn, and every turn we deal 2 additional damage with the sacrificed elementals. Alright, so he's probably going to
Let's make this
-3.
quick. I've got other things to burn.
So what can we sack? We need three triggers, right? We can sack these 2 foods for mana, generate another one, and then sack that one as well. Okay. Then we sacrifice this one.
If you want to fight, you got it.
Yeah.
I can always do better next time. Let's make some more room to fight in.
Yeah, I think that was the best possible outcome for us here. Alright, Paradise Druid will take it. Problem is now we don't have any card draw. We can just attack him for 2 every turn.
They're so cute.
Beanstalk Giants actually... That would be a problem if we had not drawn a Garruk.
Let's
can just now get rid of the giant, draw a card.
Time's up.
Oh no, my Cauldron Familiar isn't actually in my hand. Alright, anyway.
Oh, they're so cute.
Doesn't really matter, I think. I think we're now in a good position because we have a Garruk. Can produce tokens every turn. Ooh, that's annoying. That's really annoying. Now we don't have any way of producing of drawing cards here.
You're not scared of dogs, are you?
So
Go get 'em, buddies.
let's go in here for one. Next turn he can kill one of our planeswalkers, but not both. And if he does, we have lethal on board. If he doesn't gain any more life now. Oh, that's so bad. So can kill the Garruk now. Huh. Why? Why? Why?
I'll try my luck elsewhere.
I mean, that's something. Don't know if it helps, but it's something.
Hey, these little guys are great.
Oh, come on. So our opponent has to swing twice to kill us. If he decides to swing with both crises. Kindred, alright. That's just game. We had a bit of bad luck there with the card draw. I was already thinking about putting in a Trail of Crumbs into the deck. Maybe that's something, but I'll figure this out another time.